Hi guys and welcome to the workshop. So in this video we're going to be carving a sign for Father's Day using my Trend T4E Router with an acrylic base. If you want to know how I made this acrylic base, check out the link up here. But anyway, whichever the link is up here, and you can see how I made this base. But let's crack on and make the sign. I've printed out on my printer Dad's shed. The other side of the ruler. Here's the first one cut out. Got some pretty sticks and glue. Put some of this on the words. All over. Okay, now we can attach the words onto here. There's the first one. More glue stick on there. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out what bit we're going to use. Now, I don't have a specific bit. All I've got is this set of Trend TCT 1/4 inch bits that came with the router when I bought it. I've got to try and figure out which one I'm going to use, but I'm not sure. I've got my router bit in my router, and we can now start to carve out the letters. Let's route it out, but let's sand that off. Okay, we sanded that paper off now that I stuck on there, and it's not looking too bad. Shed, Dad's shed. Okay then guys, we've now carved this out. We've now carved it out, so let's paint in the letters with some black paint that I've got lying around. Now I don't have a very good brush, I've just given this one a bit of a haircut. So we will just fill up these letters. Okay, so there we go. We've infilled it with black. Where we've gone over on the sides, what we'll do is when it dries, we'll just sand it and that will disappear. Nice one. Let's let that dry and we'll come back. Okay guys, so the paint has dried. Let's just give it a quick sand to get rid of where I wasn't very good with the paintbrush. Oh, looky. There we go, that's not looking too bad. All the black's gone from it now. If you can see where I ran over the edges a bit, it's all gone. Dad's shed. What I want to do now is round over these corners. I don't like them sharp. I found in my starter set this little bearing guided straight cutter. I've got these tub of washers and I noticed I've got these black plastic ones. If I put this on here, screw that on there because it's the rear of it, and then of course if I follow that with the router bit with the bearing on it, look, that will go round there and it's going to trim this off. Now, screw them on there, get the router bit, and let's trim it on up. Oh yeah, that'll do. Houston, we have a problem. I should have countersunk the holes, I was being lazy. Could it split it? Just open that up a little bit more. Squeeze some glue in there. Wipe off the excess. And there you go, one repair. So that will repair that. It didn't come through to the front fortunately, so that will repair that nicely. So we'll do the black bits on here, but what we'll do is we'll countersink the hole this time like we should have done that time, but I was just being lazy. Okay, so after all that mess up, I've now got my 4 washers on there, which I'm going to use as guide bushes for the router bit. Let's get the router bit attached. Let's see what we can do with it. So we can now start to trim up these. So we'll lower this down until the bearing is rubbing against the black bushing there. We'll lock the router in place. We can now remove the screws from the washers that we used as a guide. We'll just tidy up the edges with a bit of sandpaper. Corners are all now rounded over nicely there with a router bit. Next thing to do is put a profile around the edge. We've just used the straight bit with the bearing guided on it to trim the edges. Where does that go? Does that go in there? Yep. Now we want to put some sort of nice profile on the edge. Now then, what one do we go for? I think we're going to go with this wiggly squiggly one. So, we've got a nice profile around there, can you see that? Don't know what you think of that, does it look alright? I think it adds a little bit to it rather than a flat piece of wood. It's where I left the router on here too long because I was recording and I was moving the camera around. It burnt a little bit. And it's because it's end grain as well. Whereas along the edge here, going with the grain, there's none. So what we need to do now is get some 120 grit sandpaper or something similar, whatever you have to hand, and just give that a light sanding to remove the burn marks the best we can. So let's do that. Letting the sandpaper take the shape of that profile. There we have it. So I'm using this Fiddy's wax. I think it's Fiddy's. It's slightly coloured. I've already applied a little bit because the camera, I forgot to press record on it. So anyway, we're going to apply the wax now. I'll wipe that on. Nice even coat all over. And we've now applied a nice coat of wax all over that as evenly as possible. We'll let that dry for a couple of minutes and we'll come back and we'll buff it off. Just buff off the excess wax. There we go then guys, so we've got the sign, it's been waxed up, it's been buffed. It's looking good, I think. Got a nice edging around there. I think that's OG edging around there, I don't know. What I just thought is need to mount it, so how best to mount it? What we're going to do, put some holes in there and countersink them out. That's that one. We need to countersink them to make them look pretty. So, let's have a look at my Trend Snappy set that I got. I really like this set. And do we have a countersink? Yeah, that looks like a countersink. Just drill 2 holes in there. I've countersunk them. The screws are now nice and flush. I think that's looking good. So there we go guys, that was a nice quick project. A little sign from my father for Father's Day. Yeah, let's wrap it up, give it to him. Now then, just a quick note. Where the bearings were, because I went past them slightly, there's a little indentation there. I don't know if you can see it. I'm looking in the camera. You see it goes in there, like whoop, and then of course that follows whoop. So that's a bit dinky there. What else have we got? Oh yeah, and then on this end as well, it's the same. There's a little indentation there, if you can see it. So of course, when I did this profile bit here, what happened is the bearing went in there, and of course then this bit's gone in. However, when it's up on the wall, I don't think you notice. I don't think you notice when it's on the wall, do you? I'm being a bit perfectionist, but do you know what? The good thing about this is it's made for Father's Day with love by hand. And also, one really important thing, he's as blind as anything, so he ain't going to see the mistakes in it. Don't tell him mum's the word, okay? He doesn't watch YouTube, doesn't even know what YouTube is. So I'm liking it. You liking it? Do you like it? Do you like it? Down, down, down. Anyway, that was a real simple project. A scrap piece of wood I had lying around, and everything was done with a router. If you're a subscriber, thanks very much for subscribing. Really appreciate your support. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing because it does help me out. I like that view count and it's not very high at the moment. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Now, if you don't like it, Don't give it a thumbs down. No negative comments. If you don't like it, don't watch. Simple. You probably won't be at this point anyway. And I've just been holding that sign upside down whilst I've been talking to you. Here it is. One last shot.